Bu gece
when house was more than just a name to package this sound, this groove, this emotion. I remember house when it was just one house. I remember house when house had artists, songwriters, and personalities. I remember house when you didn't have to be a DJ just to be into house. I remember house when house was broke. I remember house when house was done in the house. I remember house when it was the spiritual thing. It was the spiritual thing. MPC 60s. I remember house before house had loops. I remember house before the whole world knew. I remember house. Do you remember house? House when house grew from the roots of house. I remember house when house was soul music and R&B. Before house was disco. Before house was disco.